Go one more time, inshallah. طيب, I think it's okay now. So for those, طيب, if you want to make it specific, عندنا غرفة ونخصص هذه الغرفة للصلاة. So we have a room and we make this room specific for prayer. So we say غرفة الصلاة. غرفة. Oh, she says yes. Now I say alhamdulillah. غرفة الصلاة. So now we say the room of prayer, the room of, or you can say for prayer, meaning the prayer room. فنخصص الغرفة نوم. So we specify a room for sleep. We say حجرة النوم. حجرة النوم. حجرة النوم. The room of sleep. حجرة النوم. The room for sleep. حجرة النوم. فنخصص غرفة مثلا للجلوس. If you want to specify the room, this is your sitting room. You have ziyarat, you have company, you have those that visit you. So you want them to sit in a certain place. You say حجرة الجلوس. حجرة الجلوس. No. So the room of sitting, your sitting room, your dining room, or sitting room, حجرة الجلوس. Your living room, rather, the room of sitting, meaning your living room. طيب, فعندنا غرفة للعب. You have a room for play, maybe your game room, your Xbox is there, your games are there. So this will be a غرفة اللعب, the playroom. No. طيب, ومن أيضا يذكرنا بفائدة. Who else can give us another benefit يا إخوان? أعيدي. Say it again. جميلة. طيب, we also mentioned the word سكن. يسكن. فما معنى سكن? So what's the meaning of سكن? Who remembers? ما شاء الله. أحسنتي. سكن. أحسنتي. To be calm. Or you can say at ease. Or you can say also to live, to reside. سكن في الماضي, يسكن في المضارع. سكن. In the مضارع, we say يسكن. يسكن. طيب, last benefit يا إخوان. طيب, we also mentioned the word المنصوب. وهذا في النحو, and this is in grammar. وهذا في النحو. المنصوب. المنصوب, the word المنصوب. This is grammatical. المنصوب. طيب, فنترجمها ونقول accusative. So we translate this and we say accusative. وأعطيكم معنى آخر أفضل من ذلك. And we gave a better meaning than that accusative case. طيب. ومن يذكرنا بمعنى المنصوب? Who can give us the meaning of منصوب?
That which has fatha or that which ends in fatha or takes the place of fatha.
طيب, the word that ends in fatha or what takes the place of fatha. No. أحسنت. طيب, الذي أو التي تنتهي بالفتحة أو ما ناب عن الفتحة. That which ends ما تنتهي بالفتحة. The word that ends in fatha. Don't stop there. أو ما ناب عنها, or what takes the place of fatha. So 2 points. The word that ends in fatha, ما تنتهي بالفتحة أو ما ناب عنها. That which ends with fatha or what with what takes the place of fatha. من لا يفهم, who doesn't understand يا إخوان. كلكم فاهمون, everyone understands. جميل. طيب, فلأصحاب الكتب كنا على صفحة 90. So for those that have the book, we're on 90. We read page 90. والحوار and the dialogue connected to it. وتكلمنا عن بعض الفوائد التي تتعلق به, and we mentioned some of the benefits that's connected to that. طيب, نواصل, let's continue. لعل قرأنا الأول أيضا. I think we did the first exercise also. Listen and repeat. أنا أسكن في الطابق الأول. Yeah, we did that. الحمد لله. طيب, we did that. طيب. قال ثالثا. Exercise number 3. Exercise number 3. استمع وردد. Listen and repeat. Listen and repeat. طيب, تفضل يا أبا زبير. اقرأ أولا. Read the first one. أبو زبير.
أنت تسكن في الحجرة الأولى.
طيب, you live in the first room. Continue. واصل.
نعم. أنت تسكن في الحجرة الثانية.
ما شاء الله. You live in the second room. جميلة. طيب, who's with us tonight يا إخوان? Let me get to our list. Sister Nadira, Alia, Sister Valise, Sakina, Sheikh Nakir. Oh, we have Abu Zubair. طيب, لا بأس. طيب, Sister Valise, اقرأي.
أنت تسكن الحجرة الأولى.
Yeah, أحسنتي. Number 2.
أنت تسكن في الحجرة الثانية.
أحسنتي. Sister Nadira, تفضلي.
أنت تسكن في الحجرة الأولى.
Good. Second one.
أنت تسكن في الحجرة الثانية.
أحسنتي. You live, talking to a male. You live in the first room. You reside في الحجرة الأولى, in the first room. You live in the second room. ما شاء الله. طيب عالية تفضلي.
أنت تسكن في الحجرة الأولى
كده.
وأنت تسكن في الحجرة الثانية.
ما شاء الله. You live once again in the first room في الحجرة الأولى. أنت تسكن, you live في الحجرة الثانية, in the second room. أحسنتن. سكينة تفضلي. أين سكينة يا إخوان؟ طيب لا بأس. طيب قال التوجيه 30. يستمر تدريب باستخدام الكلمات التالية. طيب the lesson, the exercise continues using the following words. Once again, الثالثة, the third, الرابعة, the fourth, الخامسة, the fifth, وهكذا إلى العاشرة, going all the way to the 10th. طيب انظروا هنا. Look here for a moment يا إخوان. كنا قبل متكلمين عن مفرد, عن المذكر. We were talking in the last lesson about the masculine. About the masculine. فمثلا أنت تسكن في مثلا الفصل الأول. But now if it's masculine, we say for example أنت تسكن في الفصل الأول. You live, for example, in the first class. You reside in the first class. الفصل هنا مذكر. So the word فصل is masculine. والأول هي الصفة عليه كذلك أن يكون مذكر. So the صفة أول has to also be masculine. So الفصل is مذكر, is masculine. So the صفة has to also be masculine. Similarly, إذا نستخدم ماذا المؤنث. Likewise, if you use the feminine, also is masculine. So the صفة has to be masculine. Likewise, if we use the feminine, فنقول في الحجرة الأول لا. So if we make it feminine, في الحجرة الأول لا. Because حجرة is feminine. So we can't use the masculine صفة. So we have to use the feminine صفة. Even the numbers have to agree. We can't use the masculine صفة here. No. So instead of al-awwal, we use the feminine number. So we would say al-ula, the feminine. Al-ula. Because hujra is feminine. So the صفة al-ula has to be feminine. So we use the feminine number. So here al-hujra is feminine. Al-hujra mu'annatha. Al-hujra is feminine. So pay attention there. Even the numbers have to agree. Wal-hujra is mu'annatha, feminine. So thus forth, we use the feminine number. فنقول الأولى, not الأول. So we say الأولى, the feminine. We use the feminine number. So now we're on the feminine number. So pay attention there. فانتبهوا هنا. طيب. قال الثالثة. So now we're going to do the same drill. So I want you to say the same sentence, keep it masculine, and we're going to use the feminine number. So you're going to say, everyone's going to read, you're going to say أنت تسكن في الحجرة الثالثة, and then each number. أنت تسكن في الحجرة الرابعة, and then the fifth, all the way into the 10th, like we did previously. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. طيب, Abu Zubair, number 1.
أنت تسكن في حجرة الثالثة.
Good. Fourth.
أنت تسكن في حجرة الرابعة.
Good.
أنت تسكن في حجرة الخامسة.
Good. Sixth.
أنت تسكن في حجرة السادسة.
Good. Seventh.
أنت تسكن في حجرة السابعة.
Good. Eighth.
أنت تسكن في حجرة الثامنة.
Good. Ninth.
أنت تسكن في حجرة التاسعة.
حجرة التاسعة. Tenth.
حجرة التاسعة.
أحسنت.
أنت تسكن في حجرة العاشرة.
أحسنت. أحسنت. طيب, ست فاليسي, تفضلي.
أنت تسكن في الحجرة الثالثة.
Good. Fourth.
أنت تسكن في الحجرة الرابعة.
Good. Fifth.
أنت تسكن في الحجرة الخامسة.
أحسنت. Six.
أنت تسكن في الحجرة الثالثة.
Good. Seventh.
أنت تسكن في الحجرة الثانية.
Good. Eighth.
أنت تسكن في الحجرة الثانية.
Good. Ninth.
أنت تسكن في الحجرة الثانية.
Good. Last one.
أنت تسكن في الحجرة العاشرة.
Good. أحسنتي. عاشرة. The 10th. أحسنتي. أحسنتي. طيب, whose turn? ست نادرة, تفضلي.
أنت تسكن في الحجرة الثالثة.
Good. Fourth.
أنت تسكن في الحجرة الرابعة.
Good. أحسنتي. Fifth.
أنت تسكن في الحجرة الخامسة.
Good. Sixth.
أنت تسكن في الحجرة السادسة.
Good. 7th.
أنت تسكن في الحجرة السابعة.
Good. 8th.
أنت تسكن في الحجرة الثامنة.
Good. 9th.
أنت تسكن في الحجرة التاسعة.
Good. 10th.
أنت تسكن في الحجرة العاشرة.
ما شاء الله. أحسنتي أحسنتي. طيب عالية تفضلي.
أنت تسكن في الحجرة الثالثة.
Good. 4th.
أنت تسكن في الحجرة أنت تسكن في الحجرة الرابعة.
Good. 5th.
أنت تسكن في الحجرة الخامسة.
أحسنتي. 6th.
أنت تسكن في الحجرة الثالثة.
Good. 7th.
أنت تسكن في الحجرة السابعة.
أحسنتي. 8th.
أنت تسكن في الحجرة الثامنة.
أحسنتي. 9th.
أنت تسكن في أنت تسكن في الحجرة التاسعة. عفوا. أنت تسكن في الحجرة التاسعة.
Good. 10th.
أنت تسكن في الحجرة العاشرة.
جميلا جميلا. أحسنتن أحسنتن جميعا. All of you done well يا إخوة. May Allah bless you all. وكرمكم الله. طيب فائدة أخرى يا إخوان. Another benefit في التكلم مثلا while you're speaking مثلا فالجملة our sentence is أنت تسكن في الحجرة مثلا الثالثة for example الثالثة. Where's my third? طيب. So our sentence is as follows. أنت you for example أنت تسكن you live في you reside في حجرة الثالثة. You live, you reside in the third room. Say it's a hotel, apartment, complex, a dormitory. Your room is number 3. حجرتي الثالثة. طيب في التكلم while you're talking يجوز حذف الحجرة. You can also omit a word. We mentioned this before in your speech. You can imply a certain word. So you can say, for example, someone says, أين تسكن? Where do you live? أين تسكن? Someone says to you, أين تسكن? Where do you reside? Where do you live? أين تسكن? Where do you live? Person says, في الثالثة, without saying حجرة. You can imply a word and then the rules still apply to it. So now I'm not going to say room, I'm going to imply it. So I say أسكن في الثالثة. Although I didn't say the word room, it's implied. أسكن في الثالثة. I live in the third room. Although the word room is implied. So here will be I live in the third room. Well, although I say the word room, it's implied. But when you imply something, the rooted to it are also there, as if you said it. So, fifth thalitha. So I didn't say room, but room is feminine. So the third has to be feminine. Now, if what I'm implying is masculine, then the same rules apply. Say I'm implying what's something masculine, ya ikhwan? Say I'm implying a classroom. I sleep, I reside in the class. Right. I'm not going to say class, but I'm going to imply it. So I would say أسكن في الثالث. So depending on what's implied, the rules will apply. If it's masculine, what I'm implying, then I apply the masculine rule. الثالث. If it's feminine, then I'm implying the feminine rule. I use the feminine sifa. So you can omit. But whatever you omit, if there's rules connected to it, those rules are applied. Although you didn't actually say the word. So here I applied the class. I live in the third class. So whatever I'm in, if it's masculine, now I have to use the masculine sifa. Although I didn't say it, I implied it. So the rules are still there. No. طيب. Let's continue يا إخوان. قال رابعا, exercise number 4. استمع وردد. Listen and repeat. And تسكنين. الآن نتكلم إلى الأنثى. Now we're talking to a female. أنت تسكنين في الحجرة الأولى. You female, you woman, you sister, you live in the first room. أنت تسكنين في الحجرة الثانية. You live in the second room. No. طيب. اقرأ يا أبو زبير. Read the sentence. Good. You, female, you live in the first room. واصل. Continue. MashaAllah. You, female, once again, live in the second room. Ahsant. اقرأ يا sister Valesa. اقرأي sister Valesi. اقرأي. Good. You, once again, talking to a female, you live in the first room. Wasili, continue. Ahsanti. You, female, a woman, sister, you live in the second room. Ahsanti. Sister Nadira, اقرأي. MashaAllah. You live in the first room. Wasili, continue. You live in the second room. MashaAllah. Ali, اتفضلي. Did Sakina return يا إخوان? No? طيب لا بأس. Ali, اتفضلي. Good. واصلي. Continue. You, female, you live in the first room. You, female, you live in the second room. MashaAllah. Our sister says, I'm here. طيب, read the next one. تفضلي. Good. You live in the first room. واصلي. Continue. Ahsanti. You, female, once again, you live in the second room. Ahsanti. قال بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. خامسا, number 5. هو يسكن في الحجرة الأولى. هو يسكن في الحجرة الثانية. Now, same drill. Now he's using هو. Now he's using هو. أعطيكم شيئا أصعب من هذا. I'm going to give you something a little more difficult than that, يا إخوان. طيب. We can change it up slightly, inshallah. So our verb is going to كان. Our verb is سكن. Let's do the مضارع. سكن. And the مضارع يسكن. طيب. سكن. يسكن. سكن means to be calm, be ease, to be at ease, or to live. Or to live. طيب. First, let's do هو. I'm going to give each one of you a pronoun. Any pronoun I wish. Let's see who's been reviewing their madari, their present tense form of the verb. Present tense form of the verb. I'm going to give you any pronoun I wish. Right? You have to translate, or you have to give me the form. I'm going to mention the pronoun. You mention the form of the verb. We're going to use sakana. The madari is yaskunu. طيب أبو زبير هو. Hey, هو يسكن. طيب هو stays the same. طيب good. Whose turn? My beloved brother, I'll call you back after class, inshallah. طيب whose turn? Sister Valacy. هما. Those two men. هما. They live. How do you say I don't know in Arabic? Hey, لا أعرف. Or you can say لا أدري. You can say لا أعرف. You can say لا أعرف. You can also say لا أدري. لا أعرف. And you can also say لا أدري. I don't know. The other ways you can say besides that, this is one easy way. لا أعرف or لا أدري. طيب. You can also say ليس بي علم. ليس بي علم. I don't have knowledge here. Knowledge is not with me regarding this. طيب. So now we have هما. Who knows? هما, those two men. Who remembers? Huh? هما يسكنان. جميلا أحسنتي. هما. Why is it not going to Arabic يا إخوان? هما طيب. يسكنان. هما يسكنان. يسكنان. Those two men live. هما يسكنان. طيب. Who's next? Sister Nadira. Huma for the feminine. Those two women. This is when you barely hear ya ikhwan. Those two women, they live. Remember, Sister Nadira, تفضلي. لا بأس لا بأس. سكينة تفضلي. Those two women. Our brother Sheikh Nakir says, I apologize, I overslept with the meds. No problem, Sheikh. We know you're still on the meds. May Allah make it easy and allow you to have a quick recovery and come back as strong as you can. You feel our best you can. Our sister Zakiya says, Huma taskunani. Remember, the ta, you're talking about two women now. Third person, those two women. Huma taskunani. You have two women. Two men, yeah. Huma yaskunani. Two women, ta. So pay attention there. طيب, whose turn? Alia, here.
So Afwan, not racist. Destiny. Discord. Afwan.
Here, taskunu. Good. طيب, Abu Zubayr. We're going back around. I think I jumped. طيب, Abu Zubayr. Whom? Ahsant, ahsant. Yaskununa. Those three or more men, they live. Whom yaskununa. Good. Last one for the ghaib. Whose turn? To the Valisi. Hunna. Hunna. Those three or more women, they live.
Okay, would it be Taskaluna?
Super close. Super close. It looks like. I'm sorry again. Hunna. Now the tricky part, it looks like it should be a ta, because we learned here is ta, huma is ta. But pay attention. When you get to the third person and it's hunna, it looks like it should be a ta, because here is a ta, here taskunu, and huma for the feminine is also taskunu or taskunina, taskunani. Now, but for whatever reason, the Arab, when they get to hunna, they change. It appears that they change as not to confuse antunna and hunna. So when you get to hunna, it looks like you should use the ta, but they keep the ya. So it becomes yaskunna. Hunna yaskunna. So take a benefit there, ya ikhwan. It appears they do that so you don't get confused with antunna and hunna. Like that. Now we go to the mukhatab, second person. Let's finish our review. Let's make it easy for the first one. Whose turn? Abu Zubair just went. Who's after Abu Zubair? Sister Valisi just went. Sister Nadira. Anta.
Taskunu.
MashaAllah. Anta taskunu. Ahsanti. Now pay attention here also, ya ikhwan, because taskunu is also here. So the ta, some pronouns are going to be shared because it's not enough pronouns. So the Arab, they share the ta, they share the ya. They don't share the alif and they don't share the noon. But the ta is shared and the ya is shared. The alif is not shared and the noon is not shared. So pay attention there. Ahsanti. Tayyib, whose turn? Alia, anti. Hey, anti taskunina. Anytime you see the ina is always going to be for anti. That's a benefit. It's never going to be for no one else. If you see that ina on a verb, anti taktubina, anti tadurusina, anti tarqudina, anti tamshina. Anytime you hear that ya, noon, it's always for anti. That's a principle. So anti with sakana becomes taskunina. Anti taskunina. This ina is always going to be for anti. That's called the ya al-mukhataba. The ya of talking to a female. This ya is called the ya al-mukhataba. Ya'u المخاطبة. Anytime you see this, yeah, the one you're talking to is a female or a woman. Yeah, المخاطبة. This is the yeah of talking to a female. The yeah of being addressed the female. Yeah, المخاطبة. Only one person has that. Talking to a female. So now when the women, they always say sometimes, oh, you men, you brothers get this, and y'all can do that, and we can't do this. So this is something that the sisters have. Only for them. Grammatically, this yeah al-mukhataba is only for the women. So maybe they will stop thinking that the men get this and the women don't. Technically, the women get way more, yeah, ikhwan. Way more. We'll save that for our fiqh class, inshallah. We should have mentioned that earlier in class. Sometimes you hear the women, oh, the brothers get this and this. Only thing they mention is one. You guys can get more wives, and we only can get one man. That's it. What else is? Everything else is almost the same. That's the only thing. That's it. So technically, if you really look at it, some of the sisters would humble themselves who say that. Allah Ta'ala wa alam, and Allah knows best. Alright, let's continue, ikhwan. After anti, antuma. Two men. Antuma. Who remembers? Susan, Sister Valaisi. Fadali. Jamila, la bas. Sister Fadali. Two men. You're talking to them. How would you say it?
I'm not sure.
لا بأس لا بأس. Concern Sakina, تفضلي. Two men أنتما. How would you say it? Close. You're right there. One letter is missing. عالية تفضلي. أنتما. أي أنتما تسكنان. جميلا. تسكنان. أنتما تسكنان. Pay attention to the next one. Now you have two women. أنتما. Same pronoun. Abu Zubayr, تفضل. Only two of them. Hey, accent. Now this one stays the same. You talk to two men the same way you talk to two women. In the third person, it changes. But in the second person, it stays the same. Antuma taskunani. You two men, taskunani. You two women, taskunani. Stays the same. So pay attention there. That's one we always have to go back over all the time. It's a little tricky because it stays the same. In the third person, it changes. Those two men, yaskunani. Those two women, taskunani. You two men, taskunani. You two women, taskunani. Stays the same. Remember, it's not enough pronouns to go around. So somebody has to share. You get allowance? I only got $20 extra. So the boys, you guys gotta share. So same way in Arabic. It's not enough pronouns. It's only alif, ta, ya, and noon. That's it. You only have 4. The huruf al-mudari', the letters of the mudari'. That's all you have. So somebody has to share. So that's the tricky part. Type almost done. Antum, and then we'll stop here inshallah tonight. When we have a small class, as we have the questions and answers with the sisters at Sources Book Club tonight. So we'll stop short tonight inshallah. Alright, let's do Antum, and then we have one more. Alright, Antum, whose turn? Sister Valaisi, Fadali.
Okay, so would that be Teskanu?
One last letter. What's after that? Wow.
Teskanu? Luna?
Hey, Asante. Antum, you're right. That's right. Tas kununa. You 3 or more men. Tas kununa. Now the last one, 3 or more women. Antunna. Whose turn? Sister Nadira, Fadali. Antunna. Half one. That should be. Try it again. You remember what you did with? You remember what you did with hunna? طيب بس who can help our sister out يا اخوان whose turn سكينة أنتن ايه احسنتي تسكن شدة تسكن that's it أنتن تسكن the only between hunna and antunna is the ta. With the antunna, use the ta. Hunna, yeah. So remember, ya ikhwan, you guys have reached a nice level. You have a lot of definitions and principles and vocabulary. Always go back. Always rehearse. Especially living where we live and we don't really practice the Arabic. So we always have to go back and make the maraja'ah and make the review. So we'll stop here inshallah for our last class inshallah ta'ala. فَنَصَبْتُ فَمِنَ اللَّهِ وَأَنْ أَخْطَأْتُ مِنْ نَفْسِي. Anything we said that's correct is from Allah. Anything we said that's incorrect is from ourselves. وَجَزَاكُمُ اللَّهُ خَيْرًا وَسُبْحَانَكَ اللَّهُمَّ وَبِحَمْدِكَ أَشْهَدُ أَنْ لَا إِلَهَ إِلَّا أَنْتَ أَسْتَغْفِرُكَ وَأَتُوبُ إِلَيْكَ والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
Oh, okay. I thought that I'm not going to answer in front of my elders.
Mashallah. good. So
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته. كيف حالكم?
بخير والحمد لله.
May Allah bless you all. May Allah bless you all.
Let me let the sisters know that we're starting, inshallah.
Oh yeah, that's fine.
Can you see the board? Maktabatu?
No, I don't see anything.
You use the PDF content, or do you look at the board?
It depends. I do both usually. Yeah, I can see it now. I just had to change my screen from the low. What hadith did you guys get up to this week?
We actually did 2 in the last 2 weeks, so we're on. Did we do Ida Shittatu? I think that was the last one we did when we were here. We're on La Yaqbalullah Salat al-Haida, and help me, sister Umalima. We did that
166, I think it was.
No, I think it's the one we memorized. We
memorized. Oh, yeah, that was.
We did La Yaqbalul Salat, and we did
The one. Aisha. No. Did we do that one now?
Yeah. That's the one we
the one.
Yes.
Okay.
We did 1 week before that. The week we didn't have class. I think it was Afdalul Agno. You were here. So that's Hararu, right?
No, it was Adu Kudri.
Okay, let me see that because
I forget the number.